Sorry I delayed this one, but I'm also sick. Though without further ado, let us begin the Q&A. First comment, we got 4 questions. What is the point of your show? When did you come up with your OCs? Who will mainly have the spotlight, and who do you think deserves a hug the most? First one, the answer is, well, if you're depending on the plot, it's to defeat the cannibal planets. But if you're going by what my point is, it's to improve my writing. Because I have terrible writing skills. And when did you come up with your OCs? 2023. I added Planet X only in 2024. Before that, they were just going to do the plot themselves. Who do you think deserves a hug the most? Probably Diana. Okay, second one. Who's your favorite to write? Do you hate anyone in your AU? How long do you spend on animation? Will Neptune or the Sun be interacting with your OCs? Well, my favorite to write is Avery. She's really just what you call a person who's just cocky and insulting, but also somehow a very good therapist. Do you hate anyone in your AU? Yes. I'd say Chorus X is the one I hate the most. He's just a jerk. How long do you spend on animation? It really depends on what I'm animating. If it's a trend, I'd say 1 to 2 hours, and if it's an episode, I'd say more than 10. And will Neptune or the Sun be interacting with your OCs? Now, this comment is very specific because I know this person and I did mention it to them that Neptune is close to Avery, so yeah, they will be mentioned and have brief appearances, so that's gonna be a lot later. Next one is what's hardest to animate? What's the main plot of your story? When will your show end? Or better, how long is it? Well, the hardest thing to animate is the mouth, because it has to be in sync with the words. And the main plot, like I said earlier, is to defeat the cannibals and keep them from eating innocent planets. That's the whole point. That's why they have powers. They need to keep them from killing others. Okay. And then when will your show end and how long is it? It'll probably end like even after Solarballs end, so I'm not sure if many people will be around because this is a very long story. Like, it's extended to a point where I don't know how long it'll last either. Okay, so this guy I talked to about my lore the most. So yeah, dude, you know why my characters are overpowered? They are overpowered because, well, they're dealing with a literal devil giving them power in exchange for their pain. But that's the thing, corruption gets power as long as others suffer. So you gave them powers to do what they want, but whenever they use their powers, well, they're suffering. So he's not really a good guy, but he's also not that bad. He literally just wants power. He's the devil. That's his job. Who's the most powerful? Actually, Singularity is like the god. And no, I'm not going to use any religion in here because that kind of stuff is just wrong. It's literally just a god. A god, not in any religion. I've already seen many people acting like Singularity is the god in Solarball, so I checked that. I had like a different version of God, and like I did not call it Singularity. I did not know what to call it till that thing came up in the show. So thanks. Who inspired you to make your AU to a show? I saw many people doing that. So I just thought, why don't I do it on my own? I have very big lore, and I know how to animate very well. Which AU is your favorite? Protective Uranus AU or the Centaurian Phoenix system? Uh, Centauri Infinite System is my personal favorite. It's just objectively better, and it was the first one that I made. Will any of the current 25 planets die? I cannot tell you. That's spoilers. Okay. Next one. What is your inspiration for your show? If you were an animal, what animal would you be? And what's your favorite color? I have a lot of inspiration for this thing, but a lot of it is also just my own storytelling. I cannot list off everything, it's too long. And if I were an animal, I'd say I'd be a cat. I mean, I used to just make cat noises when I was younger. And what's your favorite color? It's red. I used to like it because of blood, and now I like it because of rubies and crystals. They're pretty. What's your favorite wild animal? What is something that makes you laugh? What's your favorite song? Do you have a favorite season? You asked the same question twice. Which among your OCs is your favorite? If you could travel anywhere and it'd be covered, where would you go? What would be your spirit animal? What is your least favorite part about creating animations? What's one insignificant thing that you would change about the world that you think would make it better? If you could have any video creature as a pet, what would you have? What video game world would you be okay being trapped in, and why? Okay, that's a lot, but I'll answer them. My favorite wild animal, I'd say, is a tiger. I don't know, I like them. They're cool, unless they're trying to kill me. Though it does say that they aren't as violent as most animals. They do kill a lot, but it's mostly for food. And sometimes out of defense, but still, I'm not taking any chances. It is something that makes you laugh. The idiot that lives next door. Um, and a lot of funny videos. And by the idiot, I mean my friend. He really doesn't mind. He calls me worse, and I call him worse than this. So, yeah. And none of us care, by the way. What is your favorite song? It's called Bernadette. I know the song by heart. I have a favorite season, it's monsoon. I love the rain, it's so calming. Which among your OCs is your favorite? I can't really have a favorite in general, but it has to be on who's my favorite to design, who's my favorite to write, etc., etc. And if you could travel to anywhere and be covered, I'd say Germany. I love a lot of tourist places there. Also, maybe Russia, though I'm leaning more towards Germany because of the war in Russia currently. What would be your spirit animal? Like I said earlier, a cat. Which is your least favorite part about creating animations? The fact that my Alight Motion glitches out and crashes, and I have to do the whole thing again. That's kinda my least favorite part, but in creating animations, as in just animating in general, the mouths, I hate it, but I also love the results, so I'm still gonna do it in that way. What's one insignificant thing you would change about the world and you think would make it better? Judging someone for something they have zero control over, like gender or sexuality, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, okay, if someone is rude, fine, judge them. If someone is quiet, you don't have to judge them, but you can give them more space or just talk to them. That's a bit okay, at least. But like appearances, gender, and sexualities and all that stuff, it's just stupid to judge someone because of it. I don't really think I'd also have a video creature as a pet. I mean, I don't like those things. I'm terrified of those things. Like, can you imagine in a normal world where an animated thing just comes to life? That terrifies me somehow. What video game world would you be okay of being trapped in, and why? Again, nothing. I do not like being trapped in a video game. I hate that idea. Next one is, what pushed you to start creating your AU? From which AU did you get inspired from, which planet in your AU you like the most, and do you ship it with another planet in your AU? What pushed me to create my AU was just peak loneliness. 2023, I was going through a lot, and writing characters was my way of escaping. I didn't really have an inspiration for my AU. Like, it was not from another AU that I got mine. Sorry if I'm not being clear, by the way. Which planet in your AU do you like the most? Like I said, I don't have a favorite in all the categories, it's just one specifics. And last ones, is the Protective Uranus AU cancelled? Who is your favorite character in your upcoming AU, and will the original story be mentioned in your AU? The Protective Uranus AU is not cancelled, it's just being pushed aside. I could still draw some comics of it, but I just don't feel like animating it, because animation is a lot of work. Who's your favorite character? I have been getting the same question, but I don't mind. I do not have a favorite in like overall general. It's just favorite to write, favorite to voice act, favorite to design, and favorite to make stuff with, as in ships or something. And will the original story be mentioned in your AU? Yes, it will. It's gonna be mentioned a lot, but it's only going to be mentioned till the Planet X arc, because none of the other stuff happened here. Like, literally none. So, that's it. You're done. And thank you all for your questions. I might host another one soon, maybe if I hit 2K.